stuff done?
Barely.
Yeah, great. Where do we go, Mark?
This way, fellas.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, everybody.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yo,
boom.
New York.
How you
What's
doing?
going on? Chicago in New York.
Guys?
Hey. It's good to be here.
Oh, that's great. You know, we've done this in 2004 and 5, but you know, we did this back in the early 70s. We did it in 74, where we sold a week out of the garden and did 3 days here back in 84. So it's great to be back.
Hey, Rick.
We're gonna make some noise anyhow. We're still eating cheeseburgers and everything, and I think we did this with the Beach Boys, and they're still eating kelp burgers. So, you know what? Music is fun. That's for sure. Great to be here tonight. Gonna have a lot of fun. Nice
It's a garden
talking to
party. We're gonna rock the house.
Here we go.
Somebody brought that up, was it on the bus last night, that said, would you have thought 20 years ago you'd be back at Madison Square Garden, let alone when we were here over 40 years ago. And, you know, and sold out a week and then did 3 days in 84 or whatever. I think it's been 25 years.
But later on in our career, we were able to kind of ramp it up a bit by playing for a week here at Madison Square Garden.
The first time we came here, it just was, I hate to say awesome, but we were awestruck over being here. And the flash bulbs went off in the place. You would have thought they threw the lights on for a basketball game. And it was just like, wow.
The whole building was shaking for a long time.
In fact,
Every song, the building was just.
is that the
moving
Beach
up
Boy
and
game?
down, yeah.
There was a prom happening in the Felt Forum downstairs, and they evacuated it because the ceiling was buckling. And we thought there was an earthquake, but we couldn't understand it because earthquakes don't happen in New York City. And then, and then the stage started doing this, and that's when we knew, hey, you know, it's us. Amazing.
I remember standing here talking to guys in the Brecker Brothers band who had come to see us play. And actually, it was actually this hallway. So I remember this hallway. As soon as I walked into this end of the hallway, I saw the curtains here blocking off the entrance.
Listen, children, all is not lost. All is not lost. Oh, no.
And these moments don't happen all the time. I gotta tell you, I'm glowing because I'm happy to have a job and I play with my friends.
We played with Earth, Wind, and Fire, the same package in 2004 and 2005. And now doing it again, it hasn't lost any of the effect that it did the first time we got together.
It's a mecca for a gig. I mean, it's a landmark.
I expect there's gonna be a lot of energy, right? I mean, you think of Chicago, you think of the horns, you know, the big band kind of feel. You don't see that in a lot of bands today. Maybe Dave Matthews Band, but I can't think of maybe one other that's like that. That's really what I'm looking forward to.
I can't let go.
25 and 4 minutes. We have actually 7:25 on stage, a 7:30 sharp downbeat.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's not going to be a
there a
10-minute
curfew?
hold or anything like that. No,
Okay.
We got to make sure our horns are
Curfew
together.
in New York, that'd be a
So-
joke.
Yeah.
This is the guy that keeps us straight-laced.
So we got about an hour and what?
You've got,
Hour and a half?
You got about an hour and 15.
All right.
Hour and 15?
Yep.
Okay, boss.
We'll be on stage.
We started our recording career here. Right then and there, just walking with our horns down the streets, getting the vibe, watching Woody Allen walk around in the same clothes after doing the Dick Cavett show for 5 days, or Ed Sullivan walking around like this. You know, we caught the vibe of the city, and, you know, we recorded quite a few albums up to the 5th album here.
Yeah. New York has always been the benchmark in so many ways for our career, for music. We are thrilled every time we jump into Manhattan because it's so full of energy. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be back.
Funny days here on the park. Every day's a 4th of July. Funny days here on the park. Every day's a 4th of July. Oh, people return.
In the late 60s, early 70s was probably when the then mayor, I can't think of his name now, declared that the parks were for the people, and so he began closing off traffic to automobiles and said, okay, the park is for everybody. And I happened to be there on 2 separate years, 69, I think, and 70, and I had a movie camera. So I shot footage of just all the things that go on in Central Park on the weekends, and it still goes on. Later on, I edited that footage and put it together in a short film, and Saturday in the Park was the score for the film. But as you know, when you listen to the song, if you know Central Park and you listen to the song, of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That sort of communal feeling, that peaceful. Really, Central Park is what makes the city livable on many levels. So I think most New Yorkers would agree with that.
We played here in the early 70s. 70 was first. 74 we did a week. Broke, I don't know if it was Frank Sinatra's record for being here for a week straight. I'm going to say 85. That was the last time we played here, which would have been 24 years ago. Here we are in New York again with another mark in our, a benchmark, and musical benchmark in our career.
I haven't known about Duke Ellington. What did he mean to the band?
Well, in 1973, we were invited to perform on his last television special. It was actually his last public appearance before he passed away. And we did an arrangement of one of his classic songs. When Duke Ellington was ready to get his cue, we saw him being wheeled out in a wheelchair to the side of the stage. He was covered in blankets. He got helped out of the chair. He had a tuxedo on. And A-Train started. And he walked out on that stage like a 20-year-old kid. And just, snapping. And the audience stood up and freaked out. The A-Train overture ended. He exited the stage, came back, and slumped into the wheelchair. Just exhausted. They covered him back with the blankets, and that's the last we saw him until after the show. He looked up at us with this big smile, totally exhausted and dying of pneumonia. And we said, Mr. Ellington, what a great honor it was to have been invited to perform on your show. And he looked up at us, and he said, on the contrary, young man, it is I who am honored because you're the next Duke Ellingtons. We carry that with us today. And that's what keeps us going as much as anything. Duke, we know you're up there smiling down on this.
And you pulled a few strings for us, thank God. When we left that room, I looked at you and I said, yeah, right, the next Duke Ellingtons. If only we could pay next month's rent.
Yes.
My 70th Chicago show and about my 25th Earth, Wind & Fire.
His most memorable concert was the Chicago Earth, Wind & Fire show from way back when?
About 5 years ago, 2002.
Have a good time?
30 minutes, Jen. 30 minutes, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Because they are the horn-driven R&B act, we are the horn-driven pop act. You put them together, and it's like, it works.
Hey, Ralph. Hey. How you doing, my man? I'll be seeing you.
Uh-oh, here he comes.
This guy's legend, Robert Lamm. Get to know Robert Lamm.
The only problem is trying to know where you're supposed to be on stage so somebody doesn't knock you down. Because we do an opening together, and then we each do a set, and then we come back for the grand finale, which is electrifying. The hair stands up on my neck. It's awesome to be on stage and be a part of that energy. But staying out of Verdine White's way is a major undertaking.
So your horn doesn't get dents in it. Verdine, if you're listening, be careful. Have a good time with this. We deserve it. We've done very well.
Let's kick. This is it, baby. This is the benchmark. No president.
Philip, let's ride. One time.
My hero. He's my hero, man. Right there. He made me want to do it. He made me want to do it.
Well, this brings back some memories.
Oh, man. No doubt. No
I
doubt.
remember meeting you guys here with
Yes,
Fly.
yes, we were talking about that. Yes.
Yeah, and you and Lee made an observation through an interview he did years ago, and it's come to pass even longer, and we're really proud of this. It was, I think we were together 25 years at the time, or maybe 20, and this fellow who was a historian, musical historian, and interviewing you at the time said, "Do you realize that you're the longest lasting horn section that's played together for 20 years?"
Yeah.
And now
Together longer than any other horn section in the history of music.
in music, now it's 42.
Never thought of that.
42 going to 43 straight years. There's no one that has played a horn section that's played together for that long ever in the history of music. We talk about this phenomenon called Chicago. You know, we knew something had happened sitting around my kitchen. We took a handshake, and 4 of the 6 original guys are still here. And you know what? We like each other.
Well, they are my brothers. I love them. They drive me completely crazy most of the time.
You know, and we like each other in spite of my faults.
We were in the same van.
You know, and yeah, we rode in the same van here and everything.
To a large degree, I think they still think it's 1975, and I have to drag them kicking and screaming into the 21st century almost daily.
I'm sappy that way when it comes to it, and I don't want to get into it too heavy, but I thought, I'm going to wear a nice suit here, because this is New York. We haven't done this in years. We're going to have a great show. We're going to tear this building down, is what we're going to do tonight. This is a strong, strong show.
This is the hallmark of all gigs. It remains that. It's very special to be back.
There's a lot of history here to the Rangers, you know, to the basketball team. So this is one of the grand dames.
You know, to put
Left.
it simply, I think this venue is as famous or more famous than the people that perform in it. I mean, everybody in the world knows Madison Square Garden. And
That's a
wow,
great way.
here we are again.
It's a great way to put it. You just see if you're going to be around, just check the show out, because I got to tell you, it's a freight train.
This will be the rumble in the garden.
That's definitely what it's going to be.
Another night, Madison Square Garden.
You ready?
Woo! Rock and roll!
Wanting just to stay away. Wondering how much I can take.
Here we go, man.
Whoa. Should I go just do some more?
Gladiators are entering the arena. Die proudly for the Emperor.
Take a leg, guys.
You will die proudly for the Emperor.
Ah, Jim, before the show.
Money. See you, Let's ride.
Hey, baby.
Salute.
MSG. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right? That was awesome. That was a blast.
Well, we had some fun.
We fooled them again!
All right, Tony. You're gonna take Tony out.
Good one, baby.
All right,
Good
take
one.
care.
Good one.
Right in front of our signs here, right in front of the pictures.
Well, I'm
Not bad.
blocking it all
There
up.
you go.
Doesn't get any better, baby.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
It's Robert Lamm.
All right, dude.